And Gates came in and saved this man and gave him an opportunity. And like I said in my video earlier, that's what stand out the most to me. That's what I rock with. Because he came and saved a black young brother when this white platform, if we talking color, was gonna do everything in his power to tarnish this dude's little image or whatever little clout that he had on the internet. All because when the situation happened, he didn't have the same emotions about himself that you had about him. He didn't let you sit up there and make him. Extra did an interview with Cam Capone and Trap Lord Ross, and he talked about his hand and what happened on the 4th of July this year. And to be honest, this interview is everything I thought it was gonna be. Solid. That's just my opinion. See, a lot of people misunderstood 4 Extra, and I think it was because of the way he was painted on No Jumper. They made him look wild, hostile, just like a person who don't know nothing but his neighborhood and the set he claimed and where he from. Now, some people argue and say, that a lot of how 4 Extra was painted on No Jumper is really because of him, because he carried himself a certain way. And if that's how you feel, cool. Because in all honesty, it was a few ways we can look at how things were going when 4 Extra was on No Jumper at the time. And me being a consumer, depending on who was there, I would watch stuff expecting something to go left eventually. I'm pretty sure we all saw how he did 607 on. That situation with 607 on was probably one of the craziest things that he had did on No Jumper up until that point, as far as just how he pressed up on a person and just pushed him. That whole interview was all over the place, and it was a few times I really thought he was going to do something or something just was going to happen on Adam's watch, Adam22. All for the love of entertainment. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because it comes a time where every situation ain't meant to be for monetary gain. And if you say you my friend and got my best interests at heart and welcome me with open arms to an opportunity, how are you the first person to make mockery and make fun of my situation? As if what happened to me is a joke. And on top of that, you got the nerve to be upset with me and feel some type of way because I ain't pulled up to do an interview with you so you can make more money off of me? Like, cut it out. Like, make it make sense. 4 Extra did an interview a while back with Trap Lord Ross, and off the back, he made it clear how much he appreciate Ross for staying in his corner, showing him real love and support, and not making a mock out of the situation.
To my brother right here.
Appreciate you, man.
You hear me?
For real.
You're a true friend.
No, for
you
real,
hear
bro.
me?
That's love.
You never said nothing no bullshit
Never,
about me. No,
never.
Always positive.
For real.
I respect that.
For real, bro.
I respect that all the way.
Blue strips.
They don't know what I got, but I'll tell you one thing. It's gonna be a whole lot of trouble today, bitch.
He had them racks on him. He had that money on him. Man, listen, this whole interview, I'm about to get into it. I fuck with it because it's a statement being made throughout this whole entire thing. And I'm gonna be real, 4 Extra took shots at Adam22 this whole interview every chance he got, as he should have. Because people will sometimes take you and use you whatever way they want to and expect you to get with the program. Just because they may have given you an opportunity in life and at some point open up a door for you. That still don't change the fact that you gotta give respect to get it. Point blank period. So I'm a person who, just being real, I like to judge people based on their character because anybody can do something for you, especially if in the end it's gonna ultimately benefit them some type of way. But how many people do things just because? No money, no clout chasing, no favor for a favor, no monetary gain. It's just, I'm doing this because it's in my heart to do it for you, and I really rock with you. It ain't too many people left like that in the world. And you start to see people for who they really are once you no longer around them and you start to say what you feel, or you just ain't moving to the sound of their band no more. And if you ask me, this is exactly why 4 Extra and Adam22 got a problem right now, because Adam don't see that. That's just my opinion. He made it clear to show 50K on camera. Why you think he did that? Because that was the price he wanted to do a sit-down interview or come back on No Jumper after he saw all the fuckery online. And they talked about this for days, how ain't nobody in their right mind about to give 4 extra $50,000 for an interview about him blowing his hand out with a firecracker. We all seen it. We saw, if you watch No Jumper, Adam22, you saw it. Now, I ain't saying Traveler Ross and Cam Capone came up with no 50 bands, but somebody kicked in and set him straight. And I'm willing to bet that whoever gave him that money gave it to him to help him shit on Apple. People in Traveler Ross get to talking about Kevin Gates in the song that he did, and how 4 extra responded to that. Y'all check
The thing I'm trying to ask you, bro, you on the Kevin Gates album, man. How'd that feel?
How'd I feel?
How'd that feel? Blue strips.
Let me see. Rip the bitch open. I'll rip the motherfucker open.
Ooh, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me, man. Come on, look at this. Look at this. Ooh, we got the bands. We got the bands on.
Rip it off, bro. Rip it off.
Right, look at this, man. Look at this.
You know, motherfucker feel. Rip that motherfucker open. This is how I feel to be on Kevin Gates album. This is how I feel. Rip it open.
Let's go.
You asked that I had a 50. You asked that I have it already. Rip that.
Let's go.
I don't know, bro. This how I feel. This how I feel.
That's how it feels.
This how I feel.
We
this
see
how
how
I feel
that
right
feel,
here.
man.
It feel like a whole lot of this right here.
Hey, the back end's coming,
like
man.
A whole lot of problems today.
We got all the back ends, man.
That's how I feel. On Vernon Avenue. That's how I feel. Dead homies. Shout out to my brother Kevin Gates. We made it. Vernon Avenue. He a real on the dead homies. He a real one. He came up there on the dead homies. Off the back he came. Shout out to my Kevin Gates, my brother. On the hood, Vernon Avenue.
Notice how no one talked positive about that feature. Everybody called it ass on No Jumper. And I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it 1,000. It ain't the best verse. I'm honest. It ain't the best verse. But I'm going to give 4 extra a little grace because it ain't like this dude rap full time. It's not like he's a rapper and this is his career. This is his job for a living. 4 extra just got out of the hospital. So I'm sure he in some type of pain, probably taking a couple, little medication, full of adrenaline, overly excited at the fact that he finna do a song with this man and it's happening right now. So it's a lot of things that I feel like played a factor in just the song turning out the way that it did on 4 extra. And it was on Luca Brasi 4, an album that probably took almost a year to make. So 4 extra literally had only a few days, I'm sure, probably to get this done. But who saw the opportunity that Gates gave 4 extra to make him some money, real money, get some residuals, royalties, points on a song or album? Like, you hear nobody mention that part about, as far as just like Gates just pretty much putting this man on and putting him in position, giving him a real opportunity. He gonna get paid off of that forever. So when you see him pull all that money out of his pocket, that's him really just saying like, man, I ain't got to get 5K from you, and you ain't got to give it to me. I ain't got to get it in no interview, but just know I got it. And it's more where that came from. So again, man, I fuck with this interview because this man was really making a statement. And another thing when it comes to the song, 4 extra might have not been that hot. But if you listen to Gates' verse, Gates giving him some game like a mother. Bad Business on top of Gates' verse telling 4 extra how to process what he dealing with and how it's stuff like this that make him, just not fuck with a lot of people in real life. This Gates talking to the 4 extra through the song. Like basically just, you see how people do you when they kick you when you down? And this is exactly why in my real life, I don't fuck with a lot of people. This bad business. Take some time to get your mind right. He told him to make sure that his people good. And he said, when you real and you keep it real, that's something that you do all the time, not just when it's beneficial. Who you think he talking to, man? And he told him, if you ever need me, I'ma always be here for you no matter what. And he talked to him and told him, he said, he protect his energy and only entertain certain things that bring him spiritual fulfillment. He won't tolerate disrespect, and how he separate himself from a lot of people do the past dealings and he don't do no square business. And it's fuck you if you do bad business. Man, now y'all can go listen to that song for yourself because that's just me giving a rundown. I promise you, everything that I just said, I damn near just gave you the verse verbatim. Like just being real. They can't fuck with being this shit, man. They can't fuck with being this shit. Like, am I tripping right now? Like, just let me know. And I be loving the comments. So y'all comment, like, just keep following me though because I love this shit. I love music, and I never got caught up in what Folk Extra was saying on the song because I understood the situation as soon as I heard it. And that's why, you know, I feel like he'll never just fuck with Adam22 again. Gates gave him more power to say, I don't need this man for shit. And he stood on it. And it's working. You'll never see him on No Jumper ever again because seeing how this played out showed Folk Extra how people will really kick you when you down. And think about Adam, man. Adam ain't a gang member. So when it comes to certain things, you should play the lane of a civilian. And you should separate having a friendship and doing certain business and having certain people in the room. You should understand and value your relationship and the friendship that you had with Folk Extra more than just doing everything just what's best for the business, what's best for the platform, what's good for content. And if you ask me, I think that's the part that Adam really ain't getting. And that's what lead Folk Extra to kind of like lashing out a little bit.
When you going back to No Jumpers? Nigga, I ain't going back. I ain't no going back. Why would I go back to that's on the internet talking about me? You get up there with my enemies, talk about my head, talk about me, laugh like it's funny. I would have broke your jaw. What do you mean? I looked at you as a friend. I looked at that as a friend. I brought that to my neighborhood. I brought that to Vernon Avenue. And that nigga think it's smiles and faces. My homies, my family, my loved ones sad. They crying. They thinking I'm dying. I'm collapsing. What the fuck? I'm getting blood transfusions. Surgery for 5 hours and 30 minutes. And you think it's funny to say, to get up there and think it's smell? I would have broke his face. Hell no, I'll never go back there. Cause you was just a buster like the rest of these with a sheep over your head, pretending.
I can go over to Cam Capone page and see the whole interview in its entirety. You know, I watched the whole thing. I'm not gonna talk about every detail in the interview, but I will continue to touch on how, you know, Folk Extra just felt like when it came to Adam treated the situation after the incident just real immature, just real childish, and it speaks volumes because even on my page when it happened, I did videos, but I didn't really understand the severity of the situation at the time and how it was really a near-death experience. So if you go look at a few of my videos, you know, some of my videos kind of start off just like, damn, because of all that energy, like, ain't no way he played himself like that. But I do come back and I clean it up and I energy, like, you know, I hope that what happened to him, it be a lesson learned. Like, you know, at the end of the day, and that what this probably just a greater calling on his life through, you know, the higher power through God, because you don't want to see a dude doing everything for a viral moment or doing everything for monetary gain and entertainment, and it ultimately, you know, leads him to a road of destruction or leads him to crashing. Nah, Folk Extra don't do no drugs. Folk Extra don't drink, as far as we know, and he stand firm on that. But he high off just the attention he get. So that could be a bad thing for a person like him. So when I did my video, I was like, man, that had to happen to slow him down. And I kind of don't feel like that was wrong. I still don't feel like that's wrong, me saying that. I didn't make mock out of the situation. But I did keep it real. I just say, you know, it kind of like, it's like one of them donkey of the day type situations, because we see this dude, and that was literally like days after the 607 Unk shit happened. So like, you know, damn, he may have stuck his own foot in his mouth. He need to slow down a little bit. But I made it clear though. I just said, God do certain things to slow us down. And that was just my take, because he was moving too fast in the content world, and everything he did just looked like a viral moment. But hearing him talk about his health issues and how that situation just took a toll on him, and watching him just get emotional behind that, man, it's like if you watch this part right here where I'm about to play and still continue to troll this dude, then you just got whatever you got coming to you. You deserve it. Just whatever you get, you pretty much deserve it.
And I'm looking up, and then I don't know. I guess I went out because my eyes closed.
Could you really understand what was going on at this point, or was you still confused? Because that shit must happen fast.
Well, I knew for sure my hand was off, and I had holes in my face, and my other hand had holes in it. I knew I couldn't hear, and I knew it was blurry. I couldn't really see. So when I guess I went out, but when I came back to it, I guess I passed out or came back to it, I went into shock. The doctor said it was shock when I locked up. I started shaking.
Yeah.
And then I just seen the doctor and later on down the road, I found out he was saying get me to the emergency room, get me we'll get him to the right now. We got a surgery right now. We losing him. That's what the doctor told me later on. I started locking up, I guess. I went into shock because they said I lost so much blood. So I lost so much blood. I lost so much blood. I went into shock, and it caused me to go into shock and start locking up and to a seizure, I guess. So I just see I'm seizuring, and I just see lights, and they running. And he running me into the thing, and I could just see as I'm thing, and what's the name of it? I slow down, I'm seizuring, and slow down, and I went out. And when I went out, I don't know how long I went out for. I just know I woke back up, coming to it. There was a lot of people around me. Both of my hands was wrapped up. Both of them was wrapped up. This one was wrapped up to here. This one was wrapped up to here. My face was wrapped.
Going to the motherland gotta be surreal when it comes to these type of situations. I don't care who you are, because California is different. Especially a lot of people ain't never even been to Cali before, and they think LA represents California as a whole, in its entirety. It don't. You got Southern California, which is LA, and then you got the Bay Area, which is, San Francisco, Oakland, and everything that's on the Bay End and certain cities in between. And if you know, you know, but it's a lot. But it takes a special individual to be out in LA and frequent places that you're not familiar with, because once you pass a certain point in LA, you automatically end up in gang territory. Whether you want to or not, whether you even notice it a lot, it's most likely wherever you are in LA, you in some form of gang territory. You in gangland. And if you ain't from there, you gonna get noticed. You stick out like a sore thumb. In certain areas, I'm a witness, man, instantly right off the top, you get singled out, because when it comes to these areas and places, when you from there, you know how to move. You know where to go, you know where not to go. So when a person see you out of place, it's you better get to where you going, or you better let it be known you a tourist. These are the laws of the land, in my opinion. So if a gang member do the honors of bringing you into his section, that probably means he fuck with you or he trusts you. I said all that to say that. If you get brought into a section, if you get brought into a neighborhood, especially in gangland, I just say gangland because I don't want to call no sets or nothing like that, then it's basically because you pretty much got a cosign from the person that brought you, but that don't necessarily mean that person got a cosign. So when you see 4Extra say stuff like, I brought you to my hood, I don't think Adam understand how big of a deal that was just for him being a gamer. But outsiders don't get no pass. You can't go certain places and just expect to get a pass. And whatever pass 4Extra gave Adam, if his homies wasn't feeling it, it might have caused some type of confusion after the fact. According to certain gang members who talk about the politics, that's pretty much how it go when you let people into your community and you a gang member, when you let them come around. So in 4Extra's mind, Adam had started to become family to a certain degree. He was a family member in 4 Extra's eyes, and that's why he took all the trolling on No Jumper to the heart, because how you gonna let these guys take your platform and make a mockery out of my situation for money? And when you listen to the Cam Capone interview, I kind of feel that, because he literally almost died, little did the world know. So in his mind, what he went through wasn't no different than a person going through a fatal crash or being shot up. But since everybody think that it was just a firework and I did some dumb shit, I'm good. I'm straight. And y'all could just crack all the jokes you want to, and I'm supposed to just sit up here and feel no way. On top of the trolling that's coming from two dudes that I don't fuck with. One from the other side, and the other one just a weirdo, just a fucking troll. Like, they were just all on there just talking about this was karma from the fade god and all that stuff. And then I didn't expect much of B to say nothing good, as he should. But again, that's where Adam got to draw the line and realize it when it comes to the friendship that you got with 4 Extra, you got to stay out of the gang politics. You got to stay out of the gang world when it comes to that stuff. Because what King Peel and Munchie B they on game time. They trolling true enough, but man, they doing more than just trolling for the content. That's just extra. But they on here get they shit out because they don't fuck with him in real life, considering the fact of what side they come from, what set they claim. So that ain't hard to understand, man. That ain't hard to comprehend. And Adam responded to the interview. This is what he had to say, man. Y'all check this out.
4 Extra. I just seen a clip of you saying that I was talking shit about you and laughing about you after you got nerfed and your hand turned to a nub. Well, I just want to say that that's cap. In reality, I sent money to your GoFundMe and I was keeping the whole world up to date about what was going on with your goofy ass. So as a result of you lying to the world because you don't want to be honest about the fact that nobody wanted to pay you $50,000 for your interview, I challenge you, 4 Extra, to a fade. I'll see you in the ring.
That's exactly what he mean. That's exactly what 4 Extra mean. And I ain't gonna even go hard on Adam, because at some point you just gotta stop paying certain shit attention. Adam ain't empathetic at all. And if you heard anything I said earlier, his response proved my point of how everything with him is pretty much just a monetary gain. And he don't care about nothing that's going on. And how I make 4 Extra feel. All Adam care about is the money and the opportunity he gave him. That's what he looking at. That's what he pressed about. Because in his mind, he feel like at the end of the day, I don't care what happened to you. You owe me something. You owe me that first interview. You owe me this. You owe like that man don't owe you nothing. And if you had any piece of love and respect for him outside of just him being a colleague of yours in the content realm, you would have respected the fact that this was a severe situation that happened to this dude and just stayed out of the shit that was going on when the gang members started trolling. When the real deal street niggas started getting involved with shit. You made yourself part of the issue when you gave them a platform to get their shit off, and you kind of indulged in it a little bit just with your trolling, and you still add insult to injury. You saw the Cam Capone interview. This is your response. That's this man crazy, man. Everything just ain't for the content. Everything, like this dude, once he started explaining the situation on Cam Capone and just how he lost his sight, how he had a siege and stuff like that. No, that like he went through some shit just like a nigga getting shot. And I feel like that's what all of us kind of misunderstood the situation to begin with. The reason why a lot of us took it light. Like I said, I admit, I didn't take it light and I didn't troll, but I looked at it somewhere being, a lesson learned by way of firecracker and just like, well, you shit, if that's your shit sandwich, then so be it. Look at all the bullshit he been on lately. But to hear him talk in his Cam Capone interview and just see how that affected him, how he throwed the real out there and baited these niggas too with that 50K just to see how much I was gonna talk. Like, I kind of feel like 4 Extra knew when nobody gonna charge him no 50,000. He just was testing the water to see what niggas were feeling, how people feel. Just let me see what my worth is. Let me just see just what's going on. And lo and behold, everybody that was on that podcast, Lush, Flacco, everybody, Adam22, like all y'all, like they all, you know, nobody, I ain't gonna say they all trolled at the same level, but nobody thought he was worth no 50,000. And eventually, you know, if he didn't circle back around to Adam, that his little buzz was gonna fade out. It was gonna die and just like fade away. And Gates came in and saved this man and gave him an opportunity. And like I said in my video earlier, that's what stand out the most to me. That's what I rock with. Because he came and saved a black young brother when this white platform, if we talking color, was gonna do everything in his power to tarnish this dude's little image or whatever little clout that he had on the internet. All because when the situation happened, he didn't have the same emotions about himself that you had about him. He didn't let you sit up there and make him a donkey, make an ass. He ain't sit up there and let you make an ass of him while he helped you make an ass out of him and just make an ass of himself. This man sat back and he got in his real element and he started thinking like, man, nah, this shit, you know, it's crazy how this nigga doing me. On top of the niggas that you got on there, on top of the people that, you know, and like I say, to each his own. That's just my opinion, how I feel about it, because I say, you know, people may look at it and like, shit, if the role were reversed and if something had happened to Munchie B or one of them other guys, 4Extra would have been doing the same thing. Maybe just because he gave that man an ultimate opportunity and was trying to turn him into the new AD, that's just me, how I was seeing it, that he owed him something. And no matter what, like, you always supposed to come back home, and he proved that to him. And shout out to Kevin Gates, man, because that was the best thing that Gates could have did. I feel like that song was more than just doing a song and doing a feature to just get some clout and put some money in his pocket. Nah, that was a little form of a legacy being left behind. If something was to happen to this man right now, he can feed his family, he can feed his loved ones, he can feed his section for a little while. That's why he said, get your mind together, you know, go get yourself straight, make sure your people good. Like, he just gave that dude free game in that song. But everybody on No Jumper just automatically just went and took it and started joking, just, man, y'all hear this shit? Like, man, it's the most trash. And like I said, it wasn't the best verse. But who caught the message, though? Nobody.